Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to do a blind reaction to a list from MyGolfSpy called Golfer's Choice What's in the Bag Results 2022. It's basically kind of a survey detailing how much of each type of equipment was bought, like who had the most drivers, who had the most irons, things like that. But at the end, the final one should be golf balls. So I'm interested to see which ones, as far as sales or as, survey results, it's going to be interesting. So we'll take a look at that and we'll see. So first of all, let's go into the most purchased driver 2022. And obviously Callaway is always going to be a big one. Titleist, I was actually surprised. I didn't realize there was that many purchases for Titleist drivers. I knew it was, decently popular, but I definitely didn't think it was more than like the TaylorMade, especially with the Stealth being a big player this year. Ping actually is a little lower than I thought it would be too, at 4. To be honest with you, Ping makes a very good driver. It's probably what I would own, to be honest with you, if I actually didn't have the Mizuno. PXG, I think PXG got a lot of that just because of that sale they had, that $189 driver they had for like some kind of big special. If it wasn't for that, it probably wouldn't be that high. Mizuno did have a little bit increase. I like to see that. I bought their driver this year. I love it. You guys have heard me talk about that. Cobra seems to be a little lower. I think they're going down. Hopefully they'll get back up because they make a great driver as well. Most purchased Fairway wood, kind of the same here. You got Callaway, you got TaylorMade. Actually, TaylorMade's a little bit higher than Titleist on this one. Again, Ping really low. I'm very surprised on that. And Cleveland definitely being underrated there. I have a Cleveland Fairway wood. It's one of the HB Turbo launch, models, and I'll be honest with you, it is fantastic. I actually thought about getting a Mizuno when I got the new bags and the new irons, but I love my Cleveland so much that I just didn't want to give it up. So really underrated there. Mizuno underrated as well. PXG, I'm surprised. I don't know if there was a sale on the Fairway wood like there was the driver, but maybe it's just more popular than I think it is. And then, of course, here, most purchased irons. This one's pretty straightforward. I'm actually surprised the Mizuno by far took the market share there. They definitely deserve it. I love my Mizuno irons. I definitely contributed to that in 2022. Everything else pretty close. Callaway being at about that 12% mark. TaylorMade at that 13% mark, somewhere in there. Titleist, I think about a 12 as well. So all those were in there. And then Wilson irons, I think, are definitely being slept on. I'd like to see that number increase because they are fantastic. And then other than that, I mean, Cobra irons, Cleveland irons also. Again, Cleveland irons, very underrated. Very underrated. They make some of the most forgiving irons on the market. So I would definitely like to see that increase. All right, wedges here. So it doesn't surprise me that Cleveland's decently high on this one. I think Titleist Vokey is probably a little overrated, over 30%. I mean, don't get me wrong, Titleist Vokey wedges are amazing, but I don't know if they're that amazing. I use the Mizuno wedges and I love them. I have a Callaway and I love it. My buddy's got Pings and he loves them. So I think, honestly, there's a little bit of overratedness from the Titleist. The TaylorMades are actually pretty good, though. The Kirkland Signature being on there, I honestly am surprised it's not higher, just because you can get 3 wedges for 160 bucks, and that's a pretty good price, and they're not bad wedges per se, so that's kind of interesting there. Nothing from Tommy Armour, Tour Edge. Wilson's is a little low. Wilson does make a good wedge, though. Don't sleep on them. Cobra wedge is definitely underrated there for sure, and then even honestly, Callaway. I think Callaway makes an excellent wedge. I think they're a little underrated as well. Most purchased putter. Okay, so Odyssey, of course, up there. Scotty Cameron. The thing about Scotty Cameron is, if you're playing a Scotty Cameron, just understand it's a status symbol. It's not actually helping you be a better putter, or better yet, if you're thinking about purchasing a Scotty Cameron, you're buying it because of the name and because of the craftsmanship, but it's actually not. What's surprising for me is, I have a Wilson putter, and I did a review on the Wilson putter. It was only $100 brand new retail at that time, and it was actually one of MyGolfSpy's hottest putters for that year, just because of the strokes gained. So putters is always one of those things I tell people, I would spend like maybe 100 to 150 on a putter at the most. My buddy's got a Scotty Cameron. It's very nice. It's awesome, but I don't think it actually helps you putt any better. And that's been kind of proven. TaylorMade putters are up, which is good. You see some specifically putter brands there like Sick and Bettinardi. And ping putters always seem to do really well. Even rolls, that's awesome. The Wilson is really slept on because, again, it's cheap price point, but it's always one of the top for strokes gained in new golfers, so definitely good there. The Cobra putters are awesome. Mizuno makes a really good one too. So Kirkland Signature being on there is interesting. And then Cleveland, actually my mom bought a Cleveland putter this year, and I'll be honest guys, it is fantastic. It had an amazing grip that already came on it. You know, didn't have to switch that out, and it has an amazing sweet spot. It feels nice and heavy. It's an amazing putter, so don't sleep on Cleveland either. And then finally, here we are at the most purchased golf ball, and I gotta be honest with you, I am so disappointed. You know, almost half the market is basically buying Titleist. That's why I honestly believe the Pro V1 is the most overrated golf ball ever. Because, you know, not that it's not a bad golf ball. It's not a bad golf ball. It's a great golf ball. But when you overhype something to the point where half the market is buying it, I can tell you right now that half the golfers are not low handicap, great iron strikers, able to work it. There's just no way. That's a huge percentage of that are people who just think they need to play the Pro V1 and they're just trying to play it because they think it's going to make them a better golfer. And it isn't because they can't compress it. Callaway should be higher. Callaway, I think, makes a better ball than TaylorMade. And, you know, maybe that'll change, but right now that's the way it is based on my testing. Bridgestone should not be bigger than Callaway. You're sleeping on Callaway golf balls. Trust me, you're sleeping on them. Kirkland Signature is decently up there. Vice takes a very big share cut. Max Fly, pretty good there too. Sugar golf ball's amazing, guys. That looks like basically zero. Let's get that number up. Sugar's awesome. It was my value tour ball of the year. Wilson definitely underrated as well. Mizuno definitely underrated. Mizuno makes great golf balls, and they're barely into that market. And guys, Cut really. Cut is, first of all, the Cut Red is the best two-piece golf ball I've played. It won my two-piece Golf Ball of the Year award, and then they have the Cut DC, which is also an amazing golf ball for $29.99 a dozen. We are sleeping on Cut, and that is no bueno. Cut is not to be messed with, I'm telling you. They should be high based on their value. Snell also being in there is really nice as well. Volvic, pretty much nothing there. That's interesting. So I think with Trust. Top Flight's a lot lower than I thought it would be too. Well, guys, so honestly, you know, part of what we do on this channel is try to influence people to search for the best golf ball for them. Hopefully we can get this, you know, chart kind of spread around a little bit more, you know, not so all Titleist dependent. I'd love to see, you know, some of these numbers come up for the other companies, and especially, you know, like Cut, Mizuno. Guys, play different golf balls. Figure out which one you really like. Find a compression you like. That way you can figure out a golf ball that you can be really, really confident with and love. Don't just assume based on what everyone else is playing, you should be playing too. All right, guys, until next time.